Live.
Hey you! Dun,
Hey
dun, dun,
yo, we
dun.
are
Welcome
live
to another episode
to
of the Das
another one.
Force.
Heck
Oh
yeah.
yeah, so we got a big episode today. We got a couple things going on. We do have a new game we're playing. So we're figuring this out. We've never played this game before. We don't know what's going on. And in good fashion, we jumped right in, skipping tutorials, skipping YouTube videos, skipping everything. We're going straight into this game, figuring it out. So stay tuned. If you see us trying to figure things out, you're welcome.
Yeah. We're gonna figure it out. So we're gonna
Here we
be
go.
the best at being the worst.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I managed to switch my character, sticking to the theme today. We got a lot going on in today's episode, but big time movie time at the end. And who'd you pick out? Oh, you're the Punisher? Dang.
Yeah. If they had
Wow.
Daredevil, that would be mine. But
Wow.
I'll try
That
Punisher.
the Punisher looks legit.
Heck yeah.
I'm doing the Human Torch.
Human Torch.
Yeah,
Nice.
considering the lore of the Fantastic Four, big time movie time that we were gonna talk about.
Heck yeah. Fantastic Four talk.
Heck
Gonna do
yeah,
it.
big time. Alright, well, let's get into this. Let's do a quick match. Let's see what this is.
Yeah. We'll see what's
Before we
what.
get into a little talk, we'll see what this game's about. And then after we play this game a little bit, stay tuned till next week. We'll give you guys just a brief review of what we think about this game. So far, though, what are you thinking about it, man? I like all this art. I like the
Yeah.
style.
It's very vibrant. It's kind of nice.
Oh yeah, man. What is this? What is this? What do we pick?
I guess you
Secondary
pick your people. Wait, confirm your hero. Can you be the same hero, or do you change hero?
I have no idea. There's such a huge selection of people.
Since someone's already that guy, guess I could be Spider-Man.
Oh, we're jumping in. Oh, okay, so we jump in with other people.
Yeah, it's gonna. I think it's a team of 4, and
Okay.
then we jump at it. We'll see what's what.
I picked a shark.
I
Oh, that's who I am. Oh, I thought we picked people. Attack.
Spider-Man. I don't know how to web, but I'll figure it out. Ooh, okay. That's fast.
Alright. L2 resurface. Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
Alright, so
oh,
I
hold
thought.
to change hero. Oh,
Heal.
okay.
Alright. Jump. Hold to change hero. The battle.
Okay, this is more my speed.
Alright.
Whoa.
I thought I was
okay.
picking who I wanted to be as like a teammate. I didn't know I was picking who I actually was gonna be. So
Yeah.
I am the shark.
You are the shark.
Yeah, this is cool. You know what this reminds me of? The Galaxy. Do you remember that Disney? That.
Ooh.
Oh, where did I just jumped down?
I
Where am
got defeated. Skip. What's that? Okay.
Died. To die.
Yeah, I die. Like, it's just that I don't feel me getting hit, so I'm gonna have to. Wait, whoa, what am I doing? Okay, I pushed a button.
Oh, your teammates get hit you.
Oh, there's a friendly fire?
Yeah.
Wow.
It seems like it. I don't know. It seems like the thing hit me. Alright. I'm not getting this game. It's
There you
just
go, I
a
KO'd
team of
somebody
us.
with my genius. I don't know how
I'm like a bulldog
how
shark.
do I exit this?
Like a walk line?
I guess I can't?
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, nice,
This
okay,
shark is pretty cool.
cool. Alright.
Oh, so we going up against people is what it is?
Yeah, I
it's us
think
versus
that's-
other people?
Yeah, it's us versus other people. I think what we're doing is protecting Roots, or whoever this monster dude is. Oh, reloading. Oh, okay. It'd be cool to see. Let's see what Spider-Man's all about. Oh wait, dude.
Alright, this game is ridiculous, man. I'm enjoying it a lot, but wow, I need to figure out what's going on in this game.
How do you run? Is there a
Yeah,
run
I'm gonna
button?
switch my character. Request to team up with Mr. Fantastic. Okay, I understand it now.
Do I reload with?
You belong to me.
Like, oh, okay. I got a shotgun. Nice. All right.
It's a new spawner.
Is there like a? I don't even know.
Alright.
Switch.
Whoa, I got
What?
one shot kill.
Same. Resurface? Oh, that's someone.
Alright, how do we...
Okay.
I'm not gonna stick with you guys.
This is very interesting.
You guys killed me.
Oh,
Alright.
got him. Double KO. Heck
There's
yeah.
life.
Oh, oh, oh.
Ooh, I got a KO on somebody.
You know what this reminds me of 100%?
Nice.
There's this game that you liked back in the day. I don't know if you remember it, but it's called Unreal Tournament, I think, for the Xbox.
Oh,
You
yeah.
remember that?
Yeah, I remember that game.
Oh,
Is it-
man.
Dude, that was a fun game. Oh, we gotta, when we see Scarlet Witch, we just gotta team up and take her out as soon as possible.
Dang.
Her powers are OP.
Yeah, and she can turn invisible. I'm seeing her play
Yeah.
right now. Alright.
Need hero Mr. Fantastic. Change. Oh man, I would change, but what would I do with Mr. Fantastic? I don't even know how to use him.
I'm using my Call of Duty skills.
So is this I'm
Interesting. Okay.
kinda
I think after
under-
this next death, I'm gonna change my style.
Alright, somebody said we needed Mr. Fantastic. I am Mr. Fantastic.
You are
Ability,
Mr. Fantastic.
Brainiac,
Alright.
reflective rubber. So if you hold the up button on the D-pad, you can see their skills a little bit.
Oh. Reloading. Oh, I got knocked the heck out. Alright. Well,
This is
let's try
fantastic. Pretty
one of
OP.
the yeah, let's change a hero. Let's see. Let's do oh, never mind.
There's a lot going on in this game.
Yeah.
Change hero.
Oh, got Star-Lord. Oh, 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 oh. There we go. Fantastic, just fantastic. How do I reload? Do I just waste all the ammo, I guess?
So, what are you understanding from the controls?
So for me, it's literally just, kind of like Gears of War. I'm just shooting and reloading. I have
Yeah,
a shotgun when I push
using
triangle.
Oh, okay.
I know I have
triangle-
more stuff that I can use. Like
Nothing.
I have a
okay.
grappling hook, so I'm kind of like.
Alright, right now I'm playing as Mr. Fantastic. I'm
There it
trying
is.
to figure out.
Getting my groove. Double KO. Oh man, I got narked. I think I'm gonna just keep this guy because he's oh, what the heck? I know
It's
what
easy
to
to run
do.
and shoot. Run and gun.
What am I doing? Oh, I see the chat now. Okay. Other bro needs hero, Mr. Fantastic. What? Okay. I wonder.
What's he saying that I need to do?
No, I don't know. It said that you said that. Whoa, what the heck? Nice.
Did we win?
Yeah, I
Oh.
guess so.
I
Cool.
feel like I did nothing. That was an easy
Alright.
victory. That was interesting. MVP. Yeah, Slay.
MVP. So random thought for you, right? I just saw something randomly.
Yeah.
And I know that this doesn't have a segment or anything like that, but apparently the new iPhone 17 Air is not going to have a charge port. It's only going to
Oh,
be wireless
nice.
charging. What you think about that?
That I don't know. I'm gonna reserve my comments until I see it in action. I think, yeah, I'm afraid it's gonna be like my opinion when the AirPods came out, and I was like, wow, they don't have the string. It looks ridiculous. They're Bluetooth. Who's gonna use them? They don't look right. And then it ended up being one of the most popular earpods ever. And then other companies started to copy them. So I don't know. It might be. I think it will be very convenient for places to incorporate more wireless charging, and then that might help. But I don't know, man. I don't like change. Just use the cable.
Yeah.
But that might be the future, though. Just wireless docks. But I don't know, man. I don't trust wireless.
Yeah, because for me, I've noticed that sometimes some things do overheat, or sometimes you have to have it at a specific spot to charge.
Yeah.
Also, not all wireless chargers are built the same. But I wonder how
Yep.
you can transfer data. That's going to be interesting. I guess if you can transfer data, that would be a no-brainer. But if you can't, I just think it's silly, because it's like...
I mean, it's still going to be connected to the wireless charger is still going to be connected to something. So I guess the idea is just not to connect your phone directly and then just place your phone on a surface, but you're still going to need to plug in the Bluetooth charger. So I don't know, but it might work out. Again, it could be the same when the iPhone changed its charger. A lot of people were like, "Where are you going to change its charger?" And then it ended up being better than expected. I'm playing as Wolverine right now. He does exactly what you think he does. Just claws. And for these far distance attacks, has left the game. Started matching nuclear.
Nice.
Oh, so I put in the group chat that we needed Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's what I saw, and I'm like, who are you talking about?
I thought somebody said we needed Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah. For me,
somebody?
I'm a soldier, so I don't know what the missions are, but I will murder. I will kill.
Just
So
tell me
I
where
think-
to point my gun.
Yeah, just show me where to shoot. I think that's why Punisher is perfect for me, because it's exactly what he would do. Same with Wolverine, probably. He's like, I don't care what you have to say. Just tell me what to do. Just tell me.
It's alright. Wolverine's very difficult to use. You need to be very up close. I don't recommend Wolverine.
Yeah.
Let's switch to
So,
choose another. I'm gonna do.
Can I? Would it be too distracting if I tell you another random thought?
Yeah, another run. So let's go.
Another random thought, right? What the
Yeah.
heck? So I recently saw a clip, right, of Miss Arma Dermas, I guess that's her name.
And the Armas.
Yes, that one.
Yeah. Yes.
Her being in 007, right? She has a bit where she does an action part, and the thing that she keeps telling James Bond is like, hey, I've only been in training for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But she is like insane. Like, she does like John Wick levels of stuff. my thing is like, man, it's kind of crazy when like your character, your person looks more effective
Yeah.
in another movie than the main movie that's about like being an action star almost. So
You're saying her role in 007 was like more believable?
I'm saying her in 007 was so much more capable. I would think she can be on par with John Wick is what I'm trying to say.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wait.
because you could, if you've
What?
seen how she was, like
so
she was
confused.
picking up weapons left and right. She was doing like tricks. She was making it look graceful and amazing. And I was like, dang.
You're saying that her role in Ballerina
Is a downgrade
on-
version of how she is
was in
in
007.
007, yeah. How do you feel about that, if true, right?
I don't really recall how she played out in 007, but if that's true, I would say that's more that more talks on the director or the choreographer. I don't know. I think it's more so in line with how lazy maybe the people in Fantastic Four or Fantastic
Fantastic Four.
in the John Wick universe are getting, or maybe that they're just reserving their big time act. Well, I don't know, because now that I'm thinking about it, I think okay, John Wick 1 was amazing. It's the first time we get to see like Gun Fu and just some guy who just is so resilient. Nothing could take him out. And then John Wick 4, it came to a point where it was almost becoming like a meme how much of a beating he would get.
Yeah.
But the action essentially was all the same. What changed though in John Wick 4 was just the camera angles in certain areas, and it's the same guy just getting his ass kicked over and over again, and still fighting back. And so when you translate that into the Ballerina, now that I'm thinking about it, their action sequences weren't really all that crazy. They're the things that stood out in the John Wick franchise, the first 4 movies, were him fighting on the horse, him fighting on the motorcycle, the dogs being incorporated, and also his ability to just get his ass kicked. And the only time where you did see like another level of skill was when he built a gun, and when they were chasing, I think it was the second movie or the third movie, definitely one of those 2 movies, where he had to build a gun in like 2 seconds just to use it for 1 bullet. So, and Ballerina, yeah, I think it's more, I think it was just whoever choreographed the films, they think, okay, let's just stick to this gun fu. It's just one person who can kill with a gun in an effective way, and then 007, I guess it was more so too. Let's do more skill. Or I don't know what their goal was, but I think when you have a movie like 007 and you have a random person that jumps into whatever action scene they're getting into, they have to make them stand out a little bit. So maybe they were trying to have Ana de Armas' action sequence stand out a little bit more than the 007, and that's what I would assume. So it's sad because that's what Ballerina's all about, just straight action. And then you have her come out in 007, and that's not even all that crazy. So.
I mean, the one controversial part that everybody was saying, like, oh yeah, you James Bond, she wasn't really trying to bang you or whatever, which was kind of silly, is that after seeing it, I'm like, what are you guys talking about? Because she grabs him, and she's like, hurry up, let's go, and then starts taking off his clothes, and he's like,
yeah, I think we saw the same little clip.
Yeah, what are you doing? Like, he kind of gave her that look, like, what? And she's like, no, because he was just like, what the heck? But
and then she gives him the suit.
The suit, yeah. I thought it was the other way around, where he's just like, "Yo, don't do that to me." You know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but that guy, he's an old man, man.
but I do like that he had
Wow.
he was
Dying
like
quickly now.
committed to a singular person.
Yeah. Yeah, in the films, yeah. Well, it's different times where you can't do the Sean Connery, the other guy. You can't. No, I don't think that appeals to the crowd that we have nowadays. Where
Well,
which,
that's one of the biggest things, right? Is that on you know how I like the Pierce Brosnan 007.
yeah,
He the thing is that that's the first time M, you know, the older lady, she
Yeah.
plays as M. That's the first movie ever that she is M. M from the past has always been a dude. So there was a point in time where she was just reluctant because she's like, it's a male role, and the husband was actually like, no, you should do it. Like, I've always wished I married a Bond girl, and so she's like,
Yeah.
all right, I'll go ahead and do it, and then. And then she shows herself off as like feminine, but also very masculine. I mean, very like powerful, and saying
Yeah.
like, and so the first thing her introduction was telling James Bond, "Yo, you're a misogynist, womanizer. You're a relic of the Cold War." Telling that to
Yes.
James Bond, yeah, putting him in his place, like legitly, and yeah, so it was supposed to be a tonal shift where it's like, yeah, you can't really have that, you know, type of person and such. You can't really rely on that kind of character because that's not what they're looking for. But he kind of ends up. The trope, I guess, for him is that every time he does hook up with somebody, it ends up
Yeah.
being the bad guy. And every time it was like, yeah, and like Tomorrow Never Ends, not to spoil anything, sorry, it's a 90s movie,
Yeah.
is the bad
Yeah.
guy. The other one, yeah, every time it's like a girl bad guy.
It's almost magical. His
Yeah.
powers. Another level.
Magical powers, yeah. So,
Well, I have hope for the new 007. I know they sold off, the family who owned it sold off the rights, and
Miss Broccoli
now
or
Amazon, yeah, the Broccoli family, now Amazon have the rights, so I hope I feel the change in direction with films are, let's listen to fans and let's try to give people what they want. And I think, I don't know if I speak for everybody, but I think the idea is let's go back to giving James Bond what he is. He is a spy that has crazy gadgets, and let's bring out more of the gadgets. Let's bring out more the spy. Let's bring out more just the fun things. Like he's essentially the serious Mr. What's it, Go-Go Gadget guy?
yeah,
Yeah, he's a serious Go-Go Gadget. And I think that's a beautiful concept because, I mean, you have nobody else doing it. Nobody is going to bring out I mean, you have your action films, you have not many spy movies, but if you want spy or espionage or you want a little bit of secrecy in film, or what is it, what are those movies that the Daniel Craig, he's also in? It's a movie about, what is it? He does they're coming out with the third one. It's this guy that they solve crimes,
oh,
like
okay.
the Knives Out type of movies.
Oh, so like, yeah, I know what murder mystery stuff, right?
Yeah, murder mystery. So you got your mystery movies, you got your action movies, but you don't really have a movie besides your superhero movies that really incorporate like new or fascinating technology, things that they use, like your Iron Man, for example. On the third Iron Man, the best part in the third Iron Man was when he was able, out of nothing, create like weapons to be able to infiltrate that area. And if they incorporate a whole movie about that, with spy, with mystery, that's just a recipe for success for James Bond.
Yeah, I
in my
feel like
opinion. So
they
I hope that's what they
definitely.
do.
I feel like they definitely forgot what they were trying to do in the beginning. Like in
Yeah.
the beginning, they were trying to give him like a Jason Bourne, like
Yeah.
gritty, realistic. He's gonna fight this guy. This guy's gonna fight him. And I feel like that's like the era of ground. You know, everybody wanted like a ground type character. Like they saw Batman. It's like, oh, that's
Yeah.
based in realism. So I feel like they did the trend where it's like everything's based off of realism. You know, and I feel like in between all that they forgot, because Casino Royale, I really liked that film. I like the premise of it. Like everything was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But I am with you though. I really feel like one of the coolest parts, especially playing the games, is like how cool he was, and like I want to see like on the new 007. I would love to see him be like clever, him thinking outside the box, him being like really smart, and
Yeah.
the way how he approaches things. And that's one thing I adore about the games. It's like, oh, you can shoot a box from a crate and it'll hit them right in the head, and then you get the chime of 007, you know, like, oh, you did something clever, and your reward is hearing the sound, you know. Or
I
a
have
cool
a sneaky
stunt.
suspicion that the new James Bond is going to be a young James Bond, and they're probably going to look for a young James Bond because James Bonds usually they play for 10, sometimes like 15 years at a time,
Yeah.
and then I feel like it's going to be an origin story for James Bond. We've usually gotten a already established 007, but if I were to make a guess, and I think the best way to establish a new James Bond is to do an origin story for James Bond, and his mentor, one of his mentors should be Q. Introducing them, essentially, oh, you know what's a better comparison? The Kingsman. The Kingsman is the type of style they should go for with the new 007. It's like, use that route. Where 007, he's spy, he's mystery with gadgets, and you need the gadgets to help you figure out your mystery, figure out your espionage, and I think that would be the way to go.
Yeah. My thing is that I just don't want them to downgrade it, because let me
Yeah.
tell you about GoldenEye, which is the first Pierce Brosnan 007. He did like a Tom Cruise level of stunt. So what he ended up doing is that he was trying to escape a compound that he was trying to attack or something like that. And so what he did was that he got into a bike, or no wait, he got into a plane, beat up the two guys on the plane, and then jumped off of one of them, got into a bike, went in that plane that was like flying, and was able to get the pilot out of the plane and then skydive in back into the plane and flew it. So it was like, I'm like, what the heck? I probably didn't
Sounds like
explain that
something out of a
well.
movie.
Yeah, but it was such an incredible piece where you saw like, oh, this is an athletic Bond. This isn't an older talky Bond, right? Who's just gonna
Yeah.
Casino Royale his way out. Like, no, he's a very athletic, capable Bond. Who
You know who would be a good actor?
who that?
The guy from Supernatural. The guy
Dean?
who plays
The guy
Soldier Boy. Yeah. I think he'd probably be a great Bond. He's got the looks. He's got the suave. He is old though. He's on the older side now. He'll probably only be able to do it for about 5. Yeah, he's got a couple years in him as Bond.
I mean, he was pretty capable looking as Soldier Boy, but I mean, I don't know. With age-wise, it's I don't
You think that matters in casting right now of age?
This web, it's like string theory.
I think right now, since one of the biggest things that they're definitely pushing is longevity. Like, they really want to push, like, just having someone for a long time, you know? Like,
Yeah.
hey, we would like to lock you in this huge, deal or so.
And
what's
they need
sad
somebody
is,
who's already cheap, because as soon as the first movie makes a couple, like a $100 million, then the actor wants 20 million, 30 million, and then by the time they're on the third movie, they want like 50 million, almost half the budget of the film. So yeah, I think that also makes it very difficult to get good casting, or at least known casting.
the
Films
thing
like-
is, it's like a car, right? Like, hey,
Yeah.
if I were to have, like, it's very hard, because let's say if you have an established actor, right? People were gonna see it, not only because, oh, dang, it's John Wick, but it's like, it's this actor in John Wick. So it's Keanu Reeves and someone else that's awesome, you know? And you're
Yeah.
also banking on their name too. But if you have like, let's say a no-name star, right? Like a guy who's like, or whoever who's not well known, you kind of have to bank on them doing a good job, because you're banking on
Yep.
the subject, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it's James Bond, it's like, oh dang, it's a new James Bond, but I don't know who this guy is. Kind of like for me with Superman, I didn't know who that guy is. But because it's Superman, people are gonna see it, you know?
Yeah.
So,
You just gotta hope that the actor does a good job and people like him.
Yeah.
The one thing you gotta at least hope is that he looks the part. I think as long as they look the part, they got it. I think nowadays there's so much help and there's so much help in the acting world where I think as long as they got the looks, they look the part. I think that's the main focus, and the acting, everything else, I assume it could be worked with, but I'm still not understanding the concept of this game. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. All I know is that it's like
we're stopping
It's
them
all-
from pushing that thing forward, so we have to, like, destroy them and stop them from jumping too close, I guess. I don't know if we're supposed to destroy it or what, but I'm confused. And what's, like, kind of irking me is that they're kind of walking so slow.
I'm going 1v1 with Captain America right now. Aw, dang, he beat me.
attacking an Iron Man looking dude. So, another question for you, right?
Yeah.
You meant, so there's this thing about Superman, and then they did a lie detector test thing, which is really funny. Part of the lie detector thing was that I guess the guy who plays as Lex Luthor originally auditioned to be Superman.
Yeah.
And so part of his questioning, right? They were questioning him in the lie detector test, and the Superman guy asked him, like, "Hey, was there a scene that I acted in that you thought I can do better?" And the guy started laughing.
I saw that. I don't think so, man. I like him as an actor. I don't remember him in many movies, but I do know he's been on a couple movies. I do like him. I don't think I can see him playing Superman. Maybe acting wise, yes, but acting as Superman in the scene, I don't know. Like, besides looking the part of Superman, acting in the way he acted, if he was like a joyful, fun Superman who at times had something pop up in a situation happen to him, and I don't. What do you think? You think he was able to pull some things off? That's
mean,
interesting though. Being an actor and like, wow, I wanted to have that role, and then this guy
Like,
took the role. I could have been better.
or like, oh, I would love to do that scene, and I would have done it this way, or I would have been more emotional or more serious. Like, they would change the tone, that's for sure.
I feel a lot of actors feel that way in certain movies that they're in.
Yeah.
Oh dang! Oh, it sucks for the ones that can't fly. I saw this guy jump into his death.
Dang. So another, it's kind of like Tom Hiddleston as like Thor,
he was trying to beat Thor, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, man, I can't see him not be Tom Hiddleston, but I mean, yeah, Tom Hiddleston is Loki, but I want to ask you, this is a thought I had. I feel like no one understands Lex Luthor, because the last Superman, Lex Luthor acted like a deranged Riddler instead of Lex Luthor, with the whole kind of like, I'm like, oh, okay, if this guy was the Joker, this is his take right here. Kind of like Batman Forever. Alright, if Jim Carrey was the Joker, this is him right now. If Tommy Lee Jones was the Joker, this is him right now.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, okay, this is my chance to go crazy. Which is like, no, you don't understand the character then. So do you think that they just don't understand Lex Luthor?
That's, I mean, most of the time you get, I feel, I don't know how I don't know, I was about to say disconnected, but we know Marvel lore, we know DC lore, we know enough, at least I know just enough to know who these characters are. I haven't really read the comic books, but I get the gist of them, and then there's other people like you that know a little bit more than the average person.
Yeah.
They know what they're supposed to do, what they're supposed to, how they're supposed to act and things like that, or their point, their purpose. I feel a lot of these actors, I don't know how disconnected they are, but I feel when they're in that world of Hollywood, I don't know if it's that they have no time, they maybe just don't care, but most of the time you have actors that have no idea who they signed up to be. It's mainly just the agent saying, hey, we want you to be part of this, to try out for this role. Who knows what Star-Lord is, but let's just jump you in, and we need some guy who acts this type of way. So yeah, most of the time these actors, I'm probably like 80% sure that they don't know what they're getting into until they're actually fully involved. And I feel fairly confident saying the same thing about the directors too, or the writers. They don't really know maybe how to write, or they have such a vision that they use a character's name, but they don't use the character's story.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I'm with you with that. But another question for you, right? Because I've seen this a lot in like apps and games and all that stuff. How do you feel that they're kind of pushing Lex Luthor to be like an Iron Man type of character? They're pushing him to have like a green Iron Man suit instead of him being like a smart, conniving person that's like egotistic. Do you feel like that kind of cheapens his character? Do you feel like that kind of amplifies him to be more capable and doing more, making him more of a presence?
I think maybe the idea is to just have him be an automatic threat already to Superman, as somebody who's already ready to either be battle tested or has been battle tested or is ready to get into a battle, like to make it more believable that he can go up against Superman, because that is his main. And then he is in comic books, he is around people with crazy power all the time. So to see a man who's this genius, but he's just a man, but he's around all these people with all these great powers, I think the idea is like, why don't you just put him in a cell or take him out? If he's so bad and he's got all this, even though he's this smart, but he's so bad. I think the idea is to make him at least some type of threat. That would be my only guess. Other than that, I don't know. I don't see Lex Luthor. I've never envisioned Lex Luthor as an actual physical threat to anybody, or even somebody who just gets into a battle. I see him more like I would assume how we think is. Oh, I got kicked out.
You got
Are you in the
kicked
fight?
out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I didn't pick my. Are you in battle?
Yeah, but I can.
Alright.
I'll
No,
leave.
you're good. You're good. You play your battle.
No,
I mean,
I left already. He's like, we do this as bros. We are those bros.
We are Das Bros.
We are those bros. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, man. What do you think it is?
I mean, I feel like they're definitely rushing it because there are parts where he does get a suit or so, but I mean the suit is I guess it is kind of the same as Iron Man almost because there's this one part in the anime, in the Justice League kind of show that they had back in the day, the cartoon, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And so I think Lex Luthor was trying to prove that Superman causes cancer to people.
Oh, damn.
And so he tells Superman, like, Lex Luthor tells Superman, hey, I got cancer because of you. People that are exposed to you die. Imagine how many people you saved. Imagine how many people you grabbed and touched. And then the doctor comes in and it's like, no, the reason why you have cancer is because you kept touching the kryptonite. And you know, Lex Luthor's his go-to wasn't to be like, damn, that sucks, or oh, I messed up. It was him blaming Superman, like, you did this, you're responsible.
Wow, man.
And it's like, okay. But that's the thing is that Lex Luthor is the type of guy who drinks too much of his own Kool-Aid, but
Yeah.
I feel like he's just like, yeah, he's petty, but not as petty as you see in the movie, but petty in the way where you're like, alright, he's he's just drank too much of his own Kool-Aid. Like he's one of those type of people that believes that he cannot do no wrong.
Yeah.
But I guess
he's always the right.
yeah, he's always right.
And you
Even when
always
he's wrong,
the
he's
left.
right.
Everybody else is left. He's the only one right.
Yeah, he's the only one who's right.
Well, that's a perfect segue to get into our first conversation. Just give a brief recap. Whatever any change of thoughts in the Superman movie?
Honestly, your thoughts, how you expressed of Superman, it 100% changed how I felt
Resonated
about
you a little bit
Yeah.
more.
Like how
Yeah.
Superman was nothing but love, how
He was, man. He saved the
even
squirrel.
saved the squirrel. Yeah, that changed a lot how I saw it, and I'm like, dang, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But honestly,
It-
the only thing that I really wanted to talk about was what we just did, was like just the presentation of Lex Luthor.
Lex
yeah.
Luthor. Yeah. I had time to think about it. There's still a lot of coworkers of mine that haven't seen Superman, and I tell them, yo, go watch Superman. And after our discussion, I did think a lot about, okay, maybe I rated the movie too high. I did give it a 9 out of 10. Because I didn't want to give it a 10 out of 10 because that would have been ridiculous. But I was thinking about it. I'm like, every point that you made about Lex Luthor being essentially like a bad, just not properly used, and it made me think. The Superman movie did have a big flaw with the way they handled Lex Luthor, and but outside of that, I do feel my rating is like the main thought that I had, that maybe I rated it too high, but overall I did enjoy the movie.
Yeah, I would say I did enjoy the movie big time.
Yeah.
The thing is just that I just felt like Mr. Fantastic, or was it Mr. Fantastic? I
Mr.
felt like
Terrific.
Mr. Terrific stole the show for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
And even that actor was like, "Oh, I was supposed to be in this, like X-Men, I think, or something like that," and they kind of didn't do
They
him
killed
right.
him off.
They killed him
said
off or
how,
something like that.
yeah, he didn't want to be somebody that they just kill off, and then he played somebody who's literally somebody who can't die. And one of the first things he does is just
Die.
he just dies. But I watching this movie, it did the Superman movie, it has me very excited for this new James Gunn world. But I think James Gunn is stuck with some of the things that he enjoyed from the previous DCU, the previous universe of DC movies, and he wants to keep a lot of it, mainly the things that he had his hands in. So we do have the new Peacemaker season coming up, and before he made Superman, he did have a little like animated show called The Creature Commandos, which I haven't seen, but I heard really good things about.
Yeah.
But that was essentially his first project incorporating the new universe, his new DC universe, and he's pretty much just saying that everything that's in Creature Commandos, starting from Creature Commandos, is canon to this new universe. But he has Peacemaker, who was from his old universe, from the old DCU that he wasn't in control of. But I see some people that aren't liking it, which is, this is all going to follow up to a question that I have for you. So he has Peacemaker 2 coming out. He came out on the podcast essentially saying Peacemaker is being jumped into a new universe, and everything that the Peacemaker talks about, everything he brings up is essentially going to be canon to this new universe, to this new world of DC heroes. But and whatever he doesn't talk about, it's not canon anymore. And essentially, the biggest news is the only thing that's really not canon is going to be the old Justice League. So the old Superman, the old Batman, the old Aquaman. They're essentially the only thing that's really not canon. And then everything from Peacemaker forward is going to be canon. But my question, do you think that's too confusing for people? Do you think that's going to work? What are your thoughts on just the...
Legitly, I honestly think that the most confusing bit of the whole thing will 100% be Patterson's Batman. Like, they're like, oh yeah, it's happening, but he's not our Batman. And it's like, oh, he's a phenomenal actor. Like that,
Yeah.
I think him doing like, hey, people who are watching this as fans, they kind of know what's gonna happen and all that jazz. But I honestly think that what's gonna confuse people is just these one-offs. It's like, okay, so you're not mixing the Joker with this Batman movie, so practically there's like no incentive to see this movie. More so that the sequel's terrible. So you're not even gonna save or rescue this IP kind of a thing. And
so you think you think the not having or not giving reason then to those one-offs, to not making things canon, you think that affects people wanting to see a film?
Yeah, because I mean,
you think that's essentially the biggest problem is the fact that it's not canon, and maybe some people might not want to go watch it?
I would say so. Like this new Batman one, it's like, okay, I'm gonna see it, but I don't know if there's gonna be a third one. Like, I really like what you guys are going through.
Yeah.
For me, if you're gonna do realistic, this is what I was expecting. Like, I don't want a grounded Batman per se. I wanted grounded villains where it's like, it's not like, like, freaking twiddly twirling. Mustache twirling villains. And if so, make them fun. But
yeah. See, it's an interesting thought for me, because I think, me personally, you could tell me there's three Batman out there. You got your Rob Pattinson, you got, and then 2 other actors, and let's say you got 3 movies coming out with the different Batmans. Me personally, I'd watch all 3 of them. Or there's one this year, one the next year. But my thought is, you have your fans, you have your people like us that know a little bit more what's going on, and you have the people who are gonna be asking those questions like, yo man, this really doesn't make sense. Whatever happened to this? What's the plot hole here? How are they gonna use that? Does it tie into that? But even those people are probably the people who are gonna watch the movie no matter what. Whereas, and the reason I kind of bring up this opinion is I was at the movies to watch Fantastic Four, and I sat next to this very, very old couple, and I didn't notice them until I saw a part with, and it's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer and everybody knows what it's about, with Galactus in it, and he's in the streets, and I see Galactus, and then I see the old people. I don't know why they just ended up, why at that moment I saw them, and I'm like, I wonder if they know what this movie is like, what's going on in this movie. If they know the lore, have they seen the other movies, if they're really a fan, maybe they just they saw like old school, I don't know, and they just made me think, it was like, I wonder how many people watch these movies and actually know what really is going on with these heroes, with the people in these films. So my point is, I don't think it matters what is canon, as long as it's good. I don't think people are gonna want answers if it's confusing. Specifically the people who are really big fans, and like, yo, how does that work? How are you bringing Rob Bannon in this world, his Batman, and things like that? But I don't know. That's my thoughts on that.
That's valid through and through, but I want to see if you feel like this is valid. So let me tell you something, right?
Mm.
So right now, box office, in the sense, they saying that pretty much Fantastic Four is projecting to look really nice, right? Like, it's projected to do better than Superman.
Sure.
And they say that Superman is kind of like missing out or losing a little bit. Superman was able to kind of be shown in like 70 different areas, while Fantastic Four is only shown in like 50 something areas or something like that, and it's still doing great. So what's your thoughts about this quote from I hope I'm not misquoting him, but by James Gunn? He's saying that Superman isn't that famous, and that's why it's not doing so well.
No, I think Superman is one of the most famous. I think what it is, I think he's one of the most famous superheroes. I would say he is the most famous superhero, and I think I saw that there was a showing of the most sold comic books, and I think it was Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man were one of the most sold comics, and then but the One Piece ended up being, the video was more, it was a YouTube short. The short was more about One Piece taking the throne or taking over some people that they were selling more copies, but Superman's definitely, I wouldn't say that's the reason why it's not doing so well. I think the reason it's not doing so well, I think one of my coworkers put it the best, is he looks like Henry Cavill. They've seen that Superman before, and they're just not excited to see the same story, the same boring Superman, somebody who just does the same thing. And especially when they picked an actor that looks essentially like the same, the guy who just played Superman. So I think that's more so what it is. I think people saw Fantastic Four and thought, this is a movie more that I haven't seen in a while. The last Fantastic Four was probably like 10, 15 years ago. And these are actors that are different to me. It's a different world. Everything looks different. And the Superman character, I've seen this before. I've seen this with Henry Cavill. I've seen this in the last film that Henry Cavill was in, and I frankly didn't like it. And I saw, not me, but what the audience are saying with the Batman v Superman, like it wasn't that good of a film. And so I think that's really what it was. And it's been a while since Batman v Superman, the last movie that Superman was in. But what I don't know is if the fact that people know it's DC, if that has anything to play with it, play into the fact that it's not doing so well. Because the last, I think the last major movie that came out for DC was Black Adam, if I don't recall incorrectly. And I don't remember that movie really doing all that well, so I think that's what it is. I don't think it has anything to do with, I think it's all lies, Stephen.
All lies, yeah. Okay, so good segue to talk about Fantastic Four. What do you think about what Kevin Feige says, right? So he has a quote that I saw when I was just scrolling by. And he says that the problem with Marvel right now is that they just threw too much too fast too soon.
Yeah.
And so his new thing that he wants to do is just do one show a year.
And
just
cut down the
focus
films
on
and stuff like that, yeah.
And so he
More
wanted to
quality
prove
over
that
quantity.
he wanted to prove that with Fantastic Four, because he says that, you know, no one's seen these movies, no one's seen the shows, and the thing is that the Thunderbolts, predominantly all of them are on the shows. People have to see the shows and do homework, and he's like, I don't want you guys to do homework to see a movie. So Fantastic Four is no homework. You don't have to know anything to enjoy this film.
I think what played into that also, just my bad for interrupting, but I think it's also that it's like it's a timepiece, it's different era, it just looks like it was from a different era. Anyways, that's what you were saying.
Yeah, so what's your thoughts about that quote before jumping into Fantastic Four?
So when I heard about that, and my question is, who is telling him that he needs to put so much out? If it's him, then, because what I heard was the reason why he wanted to do that is because it's more so, yes, it's quantity, and you have actors who are just so willing to play certain characters we have these actors who want to play these characters, so let's just make something with this character, and then let's try to just push it out as quickly as we can. And that definitely has hurt a lot with the quality of the things. I don't think quantity was the issue, but I think because of quantity, it is the issue. Wow. So I think when you're focused on quantity, then it becomes an issue. But if your focus is on quality, and in that quality you make maybe a lot of shows, but they're all good, I don't think there's really that big of an issue. But if your goal with quantity is to hurry up and push it out, doesn't matter how it comes out, and let's just make figure out a way to get to B, then yeah, I mean, nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% with that, because, I mean, I did see a little bit of Ironheart, and I'm like, dude, this girl plays like a villain. Like, 100% a villain. Like, oh yeah, I steal, I'm here, like, the thing
We're
is
cool.
that I'm cool, I deserve to have a name. It's like that toxic, independence that people want I feel like it's like a generational thing maybe, where it's like, oh, I deserve this, I'm entitled to this, just because I am. And it's like, no, that's earned. Like, that's one thing I did see about the Iron Man 3 that you were talking about. Like, no, Iron Man showed that he was Iron Man without the suit. Like, he was badass. And ironically, it's like the same movie came out again with the same theme with the Wolverine. That movie where he's like, no, I'm Wolverine not because of my powers. It's because I'm a badass.
Or because of my abilities.
Yeah, my abilities.
That
like,
I got through my powers.
Even though I am... Well, the Wolverine, his healing power got taken away.
Yeah.
Remember? So,
Yeah.
that train scene was pretty awesome. So I really feel like these people who are writing these stories, they want to hear, they want their stories, like they self-insert. Like, oh yeah, I want to be heard, like this is what people want to hear, and it's like, no, that's just what you want to hear.
Yeah.
And seeing Ironheart, it was so infuriating because...
Did you watch all of Ironheart?
Dude, what was sad was that Sasha Baron Cohen, or whatever his name is, he played a very good Mephisto.
He's a good-looking Mephisto in the sense that he looks the part. He does look the part.
But that's the sad part of it. It's like, man, you should have segued this into, like, this is how you can save it, right? Make Ironheart a villain and put her in arms wars with her versus War Machine.
Yeah.
And that would save it. Like, people would see that. Because she does play a villain through and through. Even the villain was like, they were competing about who's worse. Oh, I kill. You don't kill, so I guess that doesn't make you bad. But...
Well, I don't think that would be that bad of an idea, because you do. I think the thing that sets Riri aside from, and actually that would be a pretty good concept, because the thing that sets Riri aside from War Machine is that she is also a genius. The other guy, he does have the military smarts, so maybe that's where he has the advantage over Riri. But Riri is a genius.
But check this out though. This is the thing that kicks me in the butt.
That'd be a good concept.
It's the entitlement, because she's like, no, I did this. This was me, and it's like, no, this was your school funds. Like, your school paid for this. You use your school resources. And she's like, oh, I'm self-made. I'm trying to make things happen. It's like, no, you got a full ride scholarship. Stop. Like, you can't play like, oh, I'm from the streets. You don't understand. When you have a full ride. Like, not many people get a full ride. Not many people are able to have a billion, like, a crap load of resources from the school.
Yeah.
One movie that I loved a lot, Shaq was in, it was a long time ago, it's called Steel, and it was one of my favorites back in the day. It was the Man of Steel, and this guy...
the greatest movies ever made.
ever made, yeah. And he was in he was literally in a junkyard, and he made his suit, he made his chopper. Like, we had a toy back in the day that was of the bike. Bike was awesome because it reminded me of like the Ninja Turtles, where they made crap out of nothing, and that was awesome. But the thing is that for me, I have mad respect for Donatello for doing that, like Spider-Man jumping into like garbages and trying to get stuff together. Like, I respect that.
Like, you want to see you don't want them to talk about what they went through. You want to see what they went through.
Yeah, they showed a lot. They talked too much and they didn't show nothing, and that's terrible.
Yeah, that's definitely an issue with story writing. Like, if you can have a character who's their character is based on the things that they went through, well, let's not hear them talk about it. Let's see them go through it. Especially when it's a TV show, you have the time to show us with an episode or two to get maybe like Flash. Doesn't have to be the whole story. It has to be but it could be flashbacks as to what they went through, and then I think a lot of people love rooting for humble, like the humble badasses.
Humble.
Like, I think when you lose that, but
or Hurts.
I don't know.
Hurts pretty good too.
I don't know if the idea is that not a lot of people are humble, so not a lot of people can relate to somebody like this, but I mean, nobody's really trying to relate to superheroes, man, or to people who are geniuses, so I don't.
That's what's sad about it, is that it tries to really hard, but it misses the mark because it's detached. Like, you're out of touch. Like, I'm sorry, but that
Yeah.
character is so out of touch to it.
Yeah.
And her friend was like, oh, like had more pure intentions than her, and
Yeah.
and also what was messed up is that she did like an AI of her best friend, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. I
I'm
heard
like,
that. Yeah.
yo,
Yeah.
that's wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's talk about consent or whatever. Like, dang, AI
Yeah.
me, bro. Like,
Well, I mean, do you? Well, for the likeness, I guess you do need consent, but do you really need consent?
I mean, I guess you're not really you if you're a robot.
You're
right?
not really. Yeah.
You just program me with my personality, I guess. But I'm just
Yeah.
you
It's
know,
not
a
really
pro
you.
AI. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not really me. It's just.
Well, speaking of
person.
what Kevin Feige said, he did say a couple of things, and it's really interesting. A couple of the things that he was talking about. I did do a little. All right, so I didn't see. So Kevin Feige was part of this roundtable where he was discussing things with a bunch of reporters and journalists and people who are just asking them a bunch of questions, and also like his ability to tell people what's going on with DC and the future of it. And I didn't see that, but I saw a video of somebody who saw it, and then they broke it down. So this is my recap of a recap. But essentially what he is saying is he has, well, first of all, he does have a contract with Marvel. His contract's about to expire, but he does have a 7-year trajectory that he has, a 7-year plan that he has with Marvel. A couple of things that he spoke about, which I thought were very interesting. One of the things that he spoke about was recasting the core characters after Doomsday.
Yeah.
He said it's not gonna happen anytime soon, but it definitely will happen. He said they were referring to more like your Captain America, your Iron Man, and things like that. But he said, yeah, it's gonna happen, but in the same way where your 007 was,
recast.
where he was recasted. So I don't think it's. So he brought that up. So that being said, I do think maybe I don't think it's likely that we're going to be seeing some of those characters come back. If anything, maybe Robert Downey Jr. comes back, but he stays as Iron Man. Because I think Iron Man is one of the core Marvel characters that you need for a lot of their stories. So people like Chris Evans, I don't see him playing Captain America. More that they got the Captain Falcon as Captain America now. He was referencing more because Chris Hemsworth is probably still going to be in his prime for the next few years to play Thor. So I don't think there's a recasting going on, but he did talk about going back to a single timeline now. So maybe that will help with his hope with the focusing more on single movies. But after the Doomsday, which is the next biggest thing, maybe the way he kills off this whole multiverse world. But what do you think about going back to the single universe, or did you like this multiverse, or you think the multiverse was cursed by this output of hundreds of movies?
Yeah, they put too much out there, and on top of that, diversity doesn't mean quality. And I feel like the people that own a lot of the stuff, I really liked actually all the shows, but just like some of the shows, like the Acolyte and all the other stuff, there's a lot of misfires than fires, and some stuff is like subpar rather than like, damn, good job, this was amazing. So I mean, a fresh restart is awesome. Talk about humble, it is going to be hard to see another Captain America like Chris Evans, because he played super humble with that.
Yeah, but I don't think we'll get another Captain America, like a Captain. And I think if we get a Captain America, it's probably gonna be maybe through a cameo with the Captain Falcon as Captain America. But I think the character of Captain America, they're probably gonna stay away from that. I don't think it. He's essentially he's a leader, but you can find lots of leaders in any. Because it all depends on how you write the character, but as a leader, you can find that in any character you decide. You can have Wolverine to become a leader. So
I just remembered. I lie. Some of the show actually wasn't great. Like Winter
Yeah.
Soldier. I mean,
Winter
yeah.
Soldier, Secret Wars.
What was it called? The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. At the very end, they wanted to talk
Showcase.
about. Yeah, they're just like, oh yeah, let's talk about equality real quick after a fight. Like, you're not tired, bro?
Yeah.
I forgot that. The ending was terrible.
We need to be
Forgot that.
better.
We need to be better. You guys
Secret Wars
suck.
was horrible.
Yeah.
Boring.
It's like,
But do you want Marvel to go back to a single timeline,
a single timeline, I think.
or do you like? Because I personally like this whole multiverse stuff. I like seeing different versions of different characters. I know it's very confusing for a lot of people. I think what makes it confusing is I think if they go back to quality over quantity, they can continue doing multiverse stuff. And I do feel multiverse stuff would potentially rake in more money than a single universe thing.
No, I'm with you. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it
Do you
is
think
kind
that-
of.
Mhm.
I think it would be cool to have the multiverse thing to link up like stuff from the past. Like, hey,
Yeah.
kind of like what they're doing with Secret Wars. I like that. That's awesome. Kind of like what Deadpool Wolverine did. I think that was pretty great too, because it's like, hey, not only is this a goodbye or a celebration or so, but this is just the end of what was, and then kind of like someone that brought it together. And you know, and it's kind of nice to see that in that aspect. But
Yeah.
doing it now, it's pretty tough, you know. Like it's kind of tough to do that, especially since now it's like, all right, you overdid it. Ant-Man and the Wasp, that didn't.
Now there's so many characters
that
and
missed.
things.
Um,
Yeah.
Like, how many misses do you kind of need? Like, I think people are now tired of it because of how much misses.
I think the only way they can properly handle it is if maybe they had James Gunn be the focus, be like the head honcho of Marvel in the creative decisions.
Well,
the
we're
reason
kinda
I say that.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, the reason I say that is because you see the movie like Superman, where he has the ability of bringing in just a bunch of characters, just drop them in and make it very fun and interesting. You don't have to really focus too much on them, but you can write them in a way where it's very interesting. Where in the Marvel universe, you do have all the, like you said, Ant-Man and the Wasp. If they don't come out in a movie ever again, people are gonna be wondering like, yo, what's going on? And I think there's a hidden talent in the way you can have just random characters be so interesting. Things that they could go back, in my opinion, they could go back to a single timeline, but if you go back to a single timeline, it's going to be very difficult to use their entire cast of characters that they have.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know how the heck they're gonna write Doomsday with all of the huge cast that they have, but...
I mean, they did a good job with Infinity War and also
Yeah.
Endgame, so I
Yeah.
have no
That's true.
worry
Well,
about that.
That was the
But-
Russo brothers, though. So
Yeah,
unless they
so
keep
I would
them,
say have the Russo brothers do it, because they
Okay,
know how
yeah.
to tell a story.
yeah.
James Gunn, now
Yeah.
after seeing what he did with Superman, I feel like he has to have like almost a movie.
The plethora characters.
Yeah, like a movie style characters. Like he needs a goofy people. He needs
Yeah.
the villain to be goofy. He can't have. He needs them to be a little bit over the top, a little bit serious, but a little bit over the top.
Yeah.
I don't think he can do dark, and I think if I were the people who were on top, I would definitely have different tones. Like, hey, we have a little bit of horror, we have a little bit of this, we have a little bit of that. Like, we're trying to hit every tone, so then that way when you see an Avengers movie, you have this tone. Like, hey, you have imagine like having the Hulk be like a psychological thriller where he's like, oh man, I don't know if I'm the monster, if I'm
Well,
a cure.
that's
or
interesting
whatever,
that you
know,
say that.
Yeah.
Because that's also what Kevin Feige mentioned in his roundtable discussion, where because they asked him about Shang-Chi, or he mentioned Shang-Chi, and he said, we're gonna make another Shang-Chi, but we're
Heck
gonna
yeah.
focus on a different theme, or not a different theme, but a different genre that we haven't done before, and that's gonna be the focus of our next like slate, our next new Marvel. I'm calling it like the new Marvel, the new focus. So, I'm excited for the future of Marvel, but also with this, another thing that he mentioned is he's gonna start focusing, go back to the single timeline, but also start, now that they've acquired the rights to X-Men, and they're intertwined now a little bit with Marvel. They're gonna start focusing on the X-Men and the mutants. So I do think we're gonna see just a completely shift in what we're used to with Marvel. Now with Kevin Feige looking into focus more on the mutants and the X-Men and things like that. But speaking of mutants, they have confirmed that Blade is gonna be now set in the modern day, where they did have two like test scripts or ideas or concepts of him being back in the day, like another like timepiece, and old school or Blade back, I don't know, like 18, I don't know how far back they were looking at, but I thought that would have been an interesting concept. And having Blade, you do have him he is a vampire, so they is essentially could potentially be immortal. But I think the fact that he is gonna be in the modern day, I think they missed the spot in potentially, I don't know, doing a cool old school Blade. You see him in maybe like the 1800s or early 1900s. I think that would have been a good concept that they probably missed the spot on. How do you feel about him, the confirmation of him being in the modern day?
I think that's kind of cool, but I kind of stand by my original point where it's like, hey, like let's say we're doing another concept, so Blade is actually going to be like a detective noir kind of a thing, where he's kind of figuring out who the White Walker is, and I mean the Daywalkers are, and all this stuff. And,
whoa, bro!
Yeah.
I am the Black Walker. I need to find who the White Walker is.
I don't know what it was. Or he labeled the Daywalker. He's the Daywalker. Something like that. So he's like figuring out who the who the like
the other Daywalker is.
So let me so to give you a little bit of a background, right? And this is gonna be probably the biggest spoiler of the freaking Blade ever.
New Blade.
The thing is that
written Blade.
Blade's mom is the big bad on Blade. It's not even Dracula or anything like that. It's his mom. So it's like, yeah, and it's very personal because he's like, yo, you're my mom. And she's like, yeah, I didn't care. Like, you were like nothing to me. Like, you were just a momentary thing. And you can tell how her being a vampire messed with her and such. So So his whole quest is to try to find his mom and try to like defeat her and such. And and things like that, which is pretty cool, but like I don't know, like I just feel like just give me, instead of doing a play-by-play of all these, like playing it safe with a superhero movie, just give me something different where it's like, oh no, this is a detective thing, this is a doomsday thing, kind of like what they did with Ant-Man, the first one.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is a heist movie.
Yeah, that was a great idea. That was fun. I
Yeah.
think that's the way to go. You want to make these movies, definitely do like exactly what you're saying. Let's have different genres, different themes, and different reasons why you should watch this film.
Yeah.
On other news, he also spoke about Spider-Man being ground level, which we kind of knew about a little bit, but he is going to be ground level, go back to the street level. They are going to have, the Punisher is, which is what we spoke about, the Punisher now officially being involved with Spider-Man,
That's
which might
crazy
be
cool.
the perfect ground level team up that you can have with the Spider-Man if he's going to go to the street level.
Well, it
But
could probably be, I don't know, like, you can play so many ways about it, like, hey, Spider-Man, you know what's crazy about Spider-Man is that he killed Mary Jane because of his, reproductive seed. It was radioactive.
Nah, they ain't going that ground level.
So,
my friend. They
but
ain't
what
going
ha-
bedroom level.
So what I'm trying to say
They
is
keep
that
it outside.
what I'm trying to say is that Spider-Man's he has a mutant gene thing going on. He's
Yeah.
not really a mutant, but the thing is that he has like a form of virus where he becomes more of a spider. So he ends up growing like extra
I don't
two
think they'll go that
arms.
route, but that would be
But-
crazy if they did that storyline.
Yeah, and the thing is that Spider-Man was kind of not framed, but I would say because Peter Parker's dealing with that, like him mutating into or transforming into Spider, and it's hurting him and it's bad. The Punisher is like, oh, I'm gonna kill Spider-Man because he killed Peter Parker. And that's how they became like a thing, and how they were introduced in the cartoon
That's interesting.
of the Spider-Man cartoon, so the animated series
Yeah.
in the early 1990s.
Well, how do you think they're gonna play off with the Punisher? You think they're gonna use the same like dark, gritty kill, super aggressive, John Bernthal Punisher, or they're obviously gonna have to make it PG-13 him. How do you feel about them PG-13ing the Punisher?
I think that's
Considering
lame.
that's what also made him great. I mean, I only assume, but I don't think they're gonna make it a rated R.
This is the
Spider-Man
thing.
film.
It's the same thing as like the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. You know, like hey, if you want kids to see it, cool. You'll have kids see it. Parents will buy their the tickets and yeah, the parents will let the kids see it. But I'm a Tetris this, right? Literally. Tetris was like, hey, yo, if you want to have a whole bunch of, want to sell a couple million copies of the original Game Boy to kids, yeah, go ahead, package it with Mario. But if you want to sell billions, package it with Tetris. Because adults have
Aw.
money. Kids don't have money.
Oh,
Adults have money.
I see.
And the
Yeah.
thing is that if you put this for adults, adults will buy it and their kids will want it. So kids will
Yep.
come and play with it. So, and yeah, they ended up packaging with Tetris, and that's mom's favorite game is Tetris. I actually
Nice.
have that Tetris in a Game Boy. But with that, it's like, yeah, it's like I would 100% think that it would be best if they just do, instead of just like if the story is PG, okay, cool, keep it PG-13 or whatever. But if the story kind of needs a rated R, do it. Don't Doctor Strange it, where it's like you nerfed it. It was supposed
Yeah.
to be a horror rated R film like we were promised, and then
Well, maybe
You
that's what it is.
backtrack.
It's maybe it's not maybe it won't be the
How
Punisher.
many kids are seeing like Five Nights at Freddy's? That's a freaking crazy
all of
movie.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like do that with freaking
Yeah.
Marvel.
True.
Like
True.
they just showed you there's a market for it. You're just not tapping into it. That's all.
I think the idea is you're saying it's the Punisher goes after Spider-Man because Spider-Man killed Peter Parker. Maybe this one's gonna be Spider-Man going after the Punisher because the Punisher and the Daredevil, he's an anti-hero, but he's a good guy, but he kills. Since maybe it's gonna be Spider-Man like, I need to take this guy out. He's killing people.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say
And
that's the
change the plot.
storyline that they should go through.
Nah, they definitely
but
won't.
I would
no.
say that the introduction is gonna mean a lot.
Yeah.
And the thing is that with Daredevil, it was the same thing where Daredevil's, like Spider-Man was going through a horrible case, and the Punisher was saying like, yeah, we need to take care of you. And it got to the point where it's like, alright, you don't work for the Kingpin? It's like, no. It's like, alright, well, we're still gonna have to clear your name, so you should talk to my lawyer friend of mine who I know. And then Daredevil's like, yeah, you should talk to Matt Murdock. Like, he'll take care of you.
Nice.
And so, yeah, and like, honestly, if you see the animated series, like, you would be very amazed in how they handle, like, their crossovers, because, I mean, Iron Man crossed over with it, Doctor Strange, X-Men crossed over with it. I mean, they had so many heroes crossover, and that's a show that has not thrown a single punch because Fox was weird about punches. So, and with guns too, it had to be like plasma guns. Like it couldn't be real weapons.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm more excited into how they're gonna do it. Man, maybe I don't know. I love the Punisher. I love the way they use them. I like Spider-Man. I like the idea of him going back to street level. I think it's gonna bring a lot more into the personality of Peter Parker out. But I wouldn't have chosen the Punisher from what we know him from the Daredevil series to be. Especially from this last season of the Daredevil where we saw him just brutal, man. Brutal.
But here's the thing, right? We saw the Daredevil and She-Hulk pretty much Disney-fied, and that was a good Daredevil, like more capable, very athletic.
Yeah, but I mean,
funny.
Daredevil never killed.
Yeah. But,
Like,
I mean,
Daredevil and the Punisher are essentially the same thing. The difference is the Punisher, besides the powers and stuff, but they both want to do good. The Punisher just he does his good by killing people, and the Punisher
same
does
as
his
Captain
good
America.
by.
They all kill, bro. All of them murder.
I mean,
like,
that's
you forget
not
the first
confirmed
Iron Man where the
nor
dude was
denied.
literally. The Iron Man was literally murking people with his Iron Man
Captain
suit.
America kills the same way that the original Batman's killed, where as long as he's not on screen, it didn't really happen.
Yeah, but that's
We throw him out
beautiful
the
where
building,
he's like,
but as long as you don't see it, I ain't kill him.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Is imagine him closing the door and then you're hearing screams.
So you're saying it's gonna be the Punisher off-screen kills, is what you're
off-screen kills, but
Nice.
I feel like the application, like the thought of it is awesome.
Yeah.
That's why, like, for those that like the FNAF
Oh
stuff.
look, Miles Morales. Speaking of Miles Morales, he mentioned that Miles Morales is not in thoughts to appear. No Miles Morales. They're gonna Sony said he's off limits. They're gonna stick with what Miles Morales got going for the multiverse
Spider-Verse,
or
yeah.
Spider-Verse. So
Way up.
still no Miles Morales, but
That's fine.
I think as long as the best way you can do it is just name drop, maybe like that fun little cameo that they had where it was Miles Morales' uncle. He was out there, so that was pretty cool. So I think as long as they pay some type of tribute, I don't think that's that big of a deal. But going back to street level, and we're also single timelines and focus more on quality versus quantity. That also means that there's probably going to be a few characters that we're not going to potentially see in Marvel come back ever. Some that we probably don't really care about, but others are probably is a bummer that we won't see. So just a few of the names that they asked him about were Eros, which was the guy that popped up at the end of Eternals. Thanos' his brother. Thanos is Thanos. And then there's no Clara. Clara, the lady who popped up at the end of Doctor Strange when he had his third eye pop out. She's like, yo, let's go do some Adventure Times. And the biggest potential that we may not get, the most recent, is Mephisto. We may not get any Mephisto. So those are bummers, and those are just like the little maybe like teaser names that we got out, but I'm pretty sure there's probably gonna be bigger names that we're not gonna see pop up on the new Marvel movies, the new upcoming Marvel stuff. So what do you think about that? The fact that we're going into this single timeline.
I think it's gonna definitely condense everything.
Yeah.
I hope that they just focus more on quality more than anything. But
yeah.
If they don't, I mean, we kind of saw what happened here, and no one was happy or thrilled. So there's that.
Yeah.
So I think
it sucks. I definitely do think it sucks. But I don't know. I think once in a while, let's have a bad movie, but with like 50 characters in it.
Yeah. But yeah. So
that's Marvel news. It's a little bit of Marvel news. Before we get into our big time movie time, I did want to get a little recap. We did get a new trailer. I don't know if you saw it. And the only reason I'm bringing it up is we mentioned the last episode we had about the new Mortal Kombat movie. So the first time we spoke about it, we did only have a teaser for the Mortal Kombat, but now since then we did have a full-on trailer come out, and now we have a good selection of people who came out in it. We have a lot more characters than the first time around. Pretty much everybody that was in the first movie is out. Is still in the second one, besides the ones that died. And then we got a bunch of new people. So I don't know if did you get a chance to see this new trailer?
Dude, the new trailer was phenomenal. Like, it's everything that we talked about last time, which is like, yeah, give me Mortal Kombat the story, right? Like, that's what I want, which is like a rehash of an actual tournament. Like, don't tell me storyline and make something up and then just dress it up nice with Mortal Kombat characters.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I feel like this new approach is kind of awesome. I really think
it's really good. It is confirmed, even if the teaser didn't confirm it, this confirms it that it is going to be a Johnny Cage focused film.
As it should be. Heck yeah.
Yeah, because
like
I never really saw Johnny Cage as, at least from my experience playing the games, as the main focus in the Mortal Kombat world, but I think he's the right choice. If you're gonna focus on one of the characters, he's the way to go.
Yeah.
He's action, he is your action hero dropped into this world of Mortal Kombat, which is a crazy concept, and I think that's the right way to do it. I am excited for this Mortal Kombat. But speaking of Mortal Kombat, I did have a nice little questionnaire for you.
What's that?
So we are getting Mortal Kombat now. Mortal Kombat obviously is known for its plethora of characters, but in that plethora of characters, we do have something that Mortal Kombat has actually become more famous for, which is its cameos, or should I say its bonus characters. Now, the first time that we did get the introduction of Mortal Kombat characters that are not from Mortal Kombat was in 2008, when we did get the Mortal Kombat versus DC, and we saw Mortal Kombat characters versus your Batman, your Superman, and that was probably the most amazing concept for Mortal Kombat fans and DC fans. But it wasn't until 2011 that we finally had our first introduction of just movie characters. So we had in 2011, we did have our first cameo with Freddy Krueger, and then the following we had Jason X, and now most recently with this last film or this last game, we do have you have your Omni-Man, you have your Peacemaker, we have a lot of new characters. So, question to you is, which most likely not, but what, and if any, do you think would be a great cameo from the movies that we've seen if they were to drop in like one of these bonus characters into one of these films?
Even though it would never happen.
Even though it would probably never happen.
Shang-Chi would be pretty badass just to appear.
Yeah.
But like,
definitely
I feel like
somebody who knows martial arts.
Yeah, someone that knows martial arts, or maybe, let me see, someone that would be fun on the DC.
Do you think it's a mark that they're missing, or unnecessary? Let's just focus on Mortal Kombat games first, and then we'll.
No, I think after this one, like if they start crossovering stuff, I think it would be pretty solid. Where it's like, oh dang, we have to go against, like we went against Shao Kahn on the second one. Now we have to go against like Freddy Krueger on this other one because he's the main guy who won the tournament. Yeah. Or,
I think that will blow people's minds. I think that would bring in so much money if they decide to do that. I think you will bring in all your fans, and then you will also bring just people who are like, what the heck, I know about Mortal Kombat, but they got what, Freddy Krueger?
Yeah, and I feel like this would be a good launch port where it's like, hey, dead franchises, you bring it back to life, like a business aspect, right? Hey, you brought it back to life, now New Line Cinema, whoever owns it, oh, thanks for launching our character, now we can make movies based off this character. Or like, Jason, okay, well, he's kind of like, not, I guess Jason not so much, but I mean, you can have Jason be part of it too, where it's like, oh, it's a Freddy versus Jason versus Hellraiser, and it's like, wow, in Mortal Kombat, and it's like,
yeah,
these guys are like, what the heck? I thought like, Lizard Dude was crazy enough, but instead you have like someone who's a Cenobite, which is Hellraiser. It's like, oh crap, it came out of a Rubik's Cube, pretty much. And it's like, there's a lot of fun and horror there. And I think that's what maybe, it is a genre that's not being expressed enough. Is kind of horror, I guess. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of horror stuff out there, but it's just so generic, you know.
Yeah. So you're saying, I think you're right. The best way to do it would be to bring characters from dead franchises and throwing them in the mix. Like, yeah, you got your Hellraiser. I don't think anybody wants to see a Hellraiser movie, so he'd be definitely an easy catch, an easy. Yeah, we'll give you 50,000 for his rights just for this movie. So.
Or like John Constantine would be fun too, where he kind of is shown off an I guess Shao Kahn, and then just have like a bit where he's like, "Are you sure you're the good guy? Cause I mean, you sound like a dictator." He's like, "No, I swear, we all good guys."
Well,
and it's
that's
like,
a good segue too.
Yeah.
My bad. We'll continue before I jump into the next little topic question. We did have a glimpse of new characters and new people in the Mortal Kombat. We do have Brock was the fresh face, and I think maybe probably I would say one of the most known characters in Mortal Kombat. He's part of the original games, and it's just the ugliest looking one. So anybody in the Mortal Kombat movie that you're looking forward to see?
Find cover and get ready to defend.
Oh, it would be cool. Like right now, a lot of people were kind of bashing Jade because they're like, "Oh, this isn't accurate," you know. And I think a lot of people want accuracy more than anything, more than like modern stuff, because that's just how people are. They want accuracy. I think that's something that people are missing. Like I saw that in How to Train Your Dragon, and everybody's like, "No, you don't understand." Like I was able to have this part and such, and I feel like that's gonna be like the battle that people are fighting now. It's like pretty much making it inclusive versus accuracy. You also saw that in like Left 4 Dead with that girl. Like I guess everybody was happy with Pedro Pascal playing Joel. So I do see that it's kind of like a little bit of a double standard in the sense where it's like, yeah, Pedro Pascal didn't look anything like Joel, but everybody was bashing the other girl. So I don't know. Like I guess there is a fine line between how people are seen or so. But as far as the one that I am kind of worried about would be like Brock does look kind of weird because his teeth are sticking sideways and such. It looks like he's wearing a mask. But what I would be worried about would be like Reptile. Like if you made Reptile look bad, then it's like, oh, that kind of does suck. I haven't seen Reptile or pictures of him. If he's shown.
Yeah, I don't understand how you can mess up a character that you have like, so much references to get right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you just literally, he's already somebody you need to either put prosthetics on or get a nice little green screen over his face. So might as well just make him look exactly like the game. Some ugly teeth, some knives on his arms, and yeah, I mean nobody wants to have Baraka look good. So
yeah.
But I'm excited for it. I hope the action is the one thing that I'm really looking forward. I'm looking forward to the action and their uses of their, I would say fatalities more than their powers. Most of their attacks are one-shot kills. There's no way they can survive all those crazy attacks. So, I don't know. Do you think the gore of their fatalities is maybe gonna push some people away?
I don't really feel like no, because people like Saw and such. So I would really
good point.
Like I would really like to have them kind of like overkill it. Like, oh man, that's a deadly move. That's a deadly move. Like this guy should have died like 15 times, and he's still going. So kind of like what I was saying last time too. But I think it would be fun to see that because it's like, oh wow, I can't go toe to toe against this guy because this guy would have killed me like 15 times before I'm able to, and that's just with his fists. And so I think the gory, the better.
Yeah.
And they explain that in DC versus Marvel, ironically. DC versus Marvel, the Joker was able to fight, and they're like, what the heck? How is the Joker capable of fighting? And they kind of explain that, because I guess the world of Mortal Kombat is just like that realm is really different, where even the Joker is capable of withstanding a lot of punishment, and even Batman's like, Batman's like, oh, okay, like I guess I can't hold back with you or something slick like that, because the Joker was like, oh, I feel almost invincible, and I think Superman was powered down. He's like, oh, something about this realm is like suppressing me, and so everything was like leveled. Pretty much.
That's interesting. That's very interesting. So in the fighting realm, make them a little bit more like, yo, the rules don't really work the same way as it does in there. There's not a lot of things really hurt you in a way it should.
Like you need
that'd be interesting. Yeah, it gives you a little bit more of a chance to see. Yeah, that's a good idea. Good idea, guy. Good idea, guy.
I tell you, I'm an idea guy.
You are the idea guy. Well, that was more comeback news. So there is a lot of movies that are coming out, but we'll save that conversation for next week. We do. So for our listeners out there, who are potentially listening out there,
Yeah.
next week we do have a lot of talks about upcoming movies. We just talked about Mortal Kombat because it was on a recent talk, but we'll keep you guys. We'll keep you guys up to date if there's any newer information out there for Mortal Kombat, or if we missed anything. Definitely let us know. But overall, very excited. I hope they do a good job. I don't really care about the storyline. I don't. And speaking of which, I don't think a storyline really matters in a Mortal Kombat movie. People know what it's about. They know it's just a tournament. I think what is important is just the actions. Like, let's see them fight. Let's see them kill.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just excited to see what they're doing. Hopefully it's like fun and such. So I guess we'll end up figuring that out when it's all set and done. But yeah, I mean, more conversations to go.
Yeah. Well, anyway, now it's time for big time movie time.
Yeah. Big time movie time.
So, Fantastic Four, man, did you see it? And what you think?
So, right off the gate, I liked it a lot. The desperation, it was a lot. I liked it a lot. I liked honestly, like your the way how you express it, where he's like, you mentioned that Pedro Pascal is more like like his face, his persona is very much like, hey, don't worry, I got this, but I'm worried though. Was on point. So your predictions about it was like on the money. But yeah, that's kind of like my initial thoughts of it. I liked it a lot. I don't know who's editing these films, but the pacing was really good too. I didn't feel like it slowed down at all. It was pretty well paced.
I feel at certain points I felt like the pacing was almost a little too fast, but at the same time, I will say the movie, I really enjoyed the film. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed all the actors and the way they played the characters. I will say I was a little bit. I say Pedro Pascal didn't really play entirely as I thought. I did mention the last time that he does have that I'm worried face all the time, and I got this kind of face. So, but I didn't expect him to be so toned down in his personality. Even though Pedro Pascal really isn't known to have outlandish or really have too much depth in his and the way he acts, and in that I think is one of the reasons why he's such a good actor. Like, he does small things very, very well, and he is a great actor. But I did, at him as Reed Richards, I did see him more just like in his head, almost what you would see from Jack Reacher without the over explaining, where he's just in his head and he's always thinking. He's got thoughts all the time in his head, and I thought his portrayal of Reed Richards, was of somebody who is constantly thinking about the worst problems and figuring out how to solve them, and his ability to act in that way, I think, was very well. I need to be to myself. I'm not really too emotional. I am constantly thinking, and my thoughts are constantly figuring out how to solve the problems of the world. So I thought his portrayal was really good as Reed Richards. I did like Sue Storm and the brothers. I call them brothers and not brothers, but they are definitely brothers. Joseph Quinn played the Human Torch. Also, Ebon Moss, a new actor that not a lot of people know about, but I have to know about him. They just need to hear his voice. Who also played as the Thing.
But he was also forget his name, but he was also in the Punisher though.
Oh yeah, he was Micro from The
Yeah.
Punisher. Yeah. Which he played very good as a Micro. Completely different actor, the way he played, or the way he played Micro. So, I do like that actor. I don't know how I feel about when I like actors, but I only hear their voice. But I think I would say he's not my favorite portrayal of the Thing. One of the points that I saw somebody make is it could be that because this movie was so fast paced and it was like this is our main, we have this problem going on and they didn't have many movies to really talk about the actors. Plus, it's not an origin film, so we don't see what they went through or the things that they had to go through when they first had their problems. But one of the things that I felt about him is I didn't really feel any of that. How could I put it? The way, just comparing him from the first Fantastic Four movie, the original cast, and the way that guy played Ben Grimm, and it's not necessarily how he played Ben Grimm, but it was more so that in that film you did see how you saw more the human part of the Thing and pretty much how much it affects him that he turned into this rock monster. And I don't know how much that plays into the comic books, but definitely in the real world, when you are just a regular guy and then you become this essentially a monster. He's not a monster because he's a hero, but if he wasn't a hero, then he's 100% considered a monster. I think where I didn't really feel the sadness in him or really any emotion out of him, but maybe they could be part of the reason why maybe it could be because this movie isn't an origin film and we already established 4 years into them being the Fantastic Four. But other than that, I did like the Human Torch. I thought he was pretty cool, he was pretty fun. I did like that he wasn't a big dummy. He was not a big dummy. He definitely had his parts in the film, things that made him stand out, things that made him. He had a part specifically towards the end of the film that just really separated him from everybody. Like his a scene that he had that I really enjoyed, and I think Sue Storm, her ability to be a mother, a lady with powers. I didn't see too much her play into her powers until the last act of the film, but all she did was really just hold her hands up and create this force field. Nothing too crazy, but overall I enjoyed the film. I thought the pacing was really fast. It's what I want from a hero movie, from a comic book movie. So overall pretty good.
Yeah, I like that every character definitely had their own role, their own part in their stuff. So that was pretty cool that everybody had their moment, right? Like Johnny had his own moment with him figuring out her language, and then you had
Whoa, spoilers!
well, okay, spoiler talk.
Go spoiler talk. We'll just go straight into the spoiler talk.
Spoiler talk, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like everybody had their moment. Like, it's
Yeah.
cool that you saw Ben Grimm's character, the Thing, definitely be on the street. You kind of knew how everybody kind of felt like on the street level, which was pretty fun. And Sue was trying to. I don't think we've seen a lot of Sue, but I think she really shined at the very end of the film, to the point
Yeah.
where, like, yeah, she protected her kiddo to the point where she died. Like,
Yeah,
she
man.
used everything she got.
Yeah, I will say
lots
that
of
this film
emotions.
did not end the way I thought it was gonna end. Spoiler alert for the Thunderbolts if you guys haven't seen it, whoever hasn't seen it, but spoiler alert. At the end credit scenes, we do see the Fantastic Four airplane enter their universe, essentially. I expected that to be a call into Galactus actually destroying their world and then them seeking help. So I will say I was surprised that they managed to save their world, and so I will say it didn't end the way I thought it was gonna end, but I did.
Well, it still
Mhm.
can, you know.
Well, with the end credits that they set up with Doomsday, with Doctor Doom,
Yeah,
what'd you think about that little end credit scene?
that was pretty cool. Where, you know, you saw how,
You saw her Spidey sense tingle.
yeah, and
She
she's
felt
like,
something.
"What?"
What the
Yeah.
heck is going on?
I think it was a really cool, definitely a really cool introduction. Very nice tease, especially since the movie's coming out next year and it's actually pretty soon. So
Yeah.
I think it's definitely a good taste of what's to come. And I think from the movie from the leaks that I've heard versus what I um, like versus what they're showing right now, I really didn't like what they had. I did like elements of what they had with Kane Dynasty, but I didn't like. I didn't really like the approach of the whole film or anything like that. And so I feel like this new direction is definitely a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
But yeah, but honestly, with Fantastic Four, I would rate it higher than Superman.
No, dude. No, you didn't. No, you wouldn't. No, you
Yeah.
wouldn't. No,
Yeah.
you wouldn't. No,
Yeah.
you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that to Superman.
Heck yeah, dude. Because the thing is that, like you said it in the beginning, like they showed a very interesting world. They were able to show off every character, have them do something different. It wasn't an origin. They did go briefly about the origin,
I'm not a
but
hero.
they 100% were able to, do what they needed to do, and they did it really well. I felt the
Well,
desperation, I felt the emotion. Everything was not a miss. Like, everything was really good. So as far as Fantastic Four movies go, this one's the best Fantastic Four movie out.
I would agree. I definitely think this is probably the best Fantastic Four film that is out. But
I'll fight this war against
yeah, I had a couple of thoughts about this film. So they are.
30 seconds before your
What I did understand is it's understandable that in this universe of this Fantastic Four, there only exists the Fantastic Four. They're the only heroes out there, and that makes sense because they didn't accidentally, or well, I mean, they literally accidentally got their powers, but they got their powers from outer space, and it makes sense that it's a world of regular humans, regular people, and the only reason that these people got their powers is because they got into some intergalactic issue that literally can only happen to people who are stuck into who are astronauts and accidentally, like, the chances of that happening is almost impossible and very, very rare, and the only reason that they got their powers were through this accident that they went through as astronauts and pilots in this whatever field that they got into. But it did seem like if they never had these problems, they would have been 100% screwed because there were very, very big threats that they were tackling as a family, as the Fantastic Four, but the threats were massive. So if they wouldn't exist, Man, that world is doomed. And then another thing is, another issue that I had about this film is, I did feel as if the world and the intergalactic threat was only to the city. So towards the end, they are, which was a genius idea, let's just teleport the Earth to another area, to another time, space and time, or however cute, wherever they were gonna end up teleporting the Earth. Thought that was a great plan, but and I know that was the only instance that you felt, okay, maybe the world is a little bit bigger than just that city, because you literally get to see the different parts of the world, the different areas, London and all these areas. But it felt like the whole, if it wasn't for that little spot, it didn't really give me much to understand the scope of there's an entire world at stake, which it really felt, there's only a city at stake. And then when Galactus came in with his ship, Galactus did only come in directly, which I thought the odds was pretty interesting, that he came exactly and specifically aiming at the city. It could be that he had a lock on the baby.
Yeah, that's the whole point. They had a lock on the baby. They were gonna give the baby up. Yeah.
But even then, he had to physically scan the city and then find the baby. So unless maybe he scanned the Earth before he aimed his ship at Earth,
yeah,
then that makes sense. But I just felt like the film made me feel that the world is only as big as that city. That was one of my issues that I had in that film. I'm not trying to be so nitpicky on things, but
no, I would say that's one leg up that Superman definitely had, was that it did show you a lot of the world, like how the place was, like situated and such. I would say that would have been kind of nice to see a little bit more, like, hey, in this retro, like Fallout type like, hey, you're making the past the future almost, like how this is like set up or so. Like how are you gonna, like how does the rest of the world look like at this time period? That would be pretty cool. But I mean, it would have been probably a little bit distracting. With Superman, I could see how it was part of the plot. But to me, it was like, hey, if Superman was in this situation, this is what he would do. This is what would have happened or whatever. But yeah.
Another issue that I had with the film was the Silver Surfer. So I don't know if it was maybe the screening that I went to, maybe it was the angle that I was watching the film. I did feel like, which I hear a lot of people compare the graphics to the first one, and there was a major upgrade. At times through the trailers, it seemed like a major downgrade. Like, how could we go back with this technology, with the way they portrayed the Silver Surfer and her graphics? But maybe it was just the angle that I was watching in my movie theater, which it has nothing to do with the actual movie. But I felt like she looked as if she was straight out of a game. And the graphics to me, which has nothing to do with the actual story of the film, but very distracting for me. I was like, man, they did a really bad job on how good or even how bad she looks. But speaking of the Silver Surfer, the issue mainly in her character that I had was, so it turns out that she became the Silver Surfer to sacrifice herself, which ended up playing a role with Johnny's ability to convince her to, you know, push Galactus through the galaxy, to that little portal that he had. But my issue with her was, she mentions that she's the one that chooses the worlds that he conquers, the worlds that he eats.
Yeah.
And my initial thought was, of all the planets that are out there, why would she pick Earth? If she's the one that's choosing, it would only make sense to me, coming from a woman who left her child behind, sacrificed her family to save her world. Why would she pick a world that has life forms in there? And then it shows Galactus that he passed through Jupiter, he passed through Saturn, he passed through the planets, he passed through Mars before he even got to Earth. And those are planets that are way bigger than Earth. And out of all the planets, why a planet that has life forms in it? So that was one of my just like questions that I had on the film. I'm like, it doesn't really make any sense to me. Right.
Yeah, it would be interesting to have like a tidbit where he's like, "Oh, I'm sick and tired of you giving me empty planets without life," or something along those lines. But I do see your criticism, and it's 100% on point because, yeah, it was kind of convenient. Like everything was kind of convenient. And you can kind of say that with any film, but with this one in particular, it was just that's just the vibe that was given, But yeah, I mean, I would say another criticism that I did kind of have myself was, it like them having the whole world be comfortable, like doing all these sacrifices and such, like. Yeah, that was kind of rushed. That was really fast. Even though I'm like pretty much everybody united in such a huge front, and also it seemed like the U.S. or at least where they were at, were the only people that had issues with her not sacrificing the kid.
Yeah,
Galactus.
Yeah, which I was thinking. They just came back from meeting up with Galactus. They just realized the threat that he was, and we can't, what he's saying is, give me your child, I'll leave Earth alone. You don't give me a child, I'm gonna come straight to Earth, and I'm gonna destroy your planet. My initial thoughts, and then, so they escape, they manage to escape, they got lucky, and then they come back to Earth, they have the press conference, of course they do, they're not the president, they're not a world leader, but they are the only superheroes, and they've saved them, and they're the age of exploration and technology. So these are probably the most famous and most important people, and so yeah, they're gonna have a press conference for anything that they do. So they come down, they barely survive Galactus, and then they ask them, "Oh, how'd it go? Like, are we safe?" And when Pedro was all like, "Yeah, we're safe, we're not," or Pedro's all like, "We're not safe,
Yeah.
I'm not sure," and then they're like, "Well, what happened?" And then he brings up, "He wants our baby." My first immediate thoughts were just, maybe you probably shouldn't have said anything. I think at that point, you could have just avoided the whole attack to your guys' person, if you would just maybe tell them, I'll get back to you tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
I
far,
love the
Galactus
honesty.
is a threat. I did, the honesty is,
but
honesty
I mean,
was there, but not necessary.
It would have been
like,
very.
I just
like,
didn't have to say nothing.
All he had to say was, "Yeah, he wants our kid, but I don't trust that it will end there." Like,
Or
he'll get our
maybe,
kid and the planet. Like, it's not a hard thing to say. Like, oh, we don't know if, like, he can't be trusted. He destroys planets, so I don't know if it will. Like, if we do end up giving up our kid, that would be the end of that, and it would have ended differently. But and imagine that he's smarter than Tony Stark. He didn't think of that. But it does express like how honest this guy is, how he does have his heart, and his, like, he's just trying to be as genuine as he can. And it's also the times too, like at that time people were like timid and proper and such, and so I guess it made a lot of sense. But yeah, that was another one that I'm like, okay.
I mean, it seems like you've had quite a bit of issues with the film, but I don't think I remember you talking so heavily about Superman yet. You say
Yeah,
this
the
film
whole
is better
the
than
villain,
the Superman.
the whole villain of Superman was not great. So that's why I'm like,
The one thing, man. The one thing.
Yeah,
The one biggest thing.
That is the one biggest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with Fantastic Four, it was just like bits and pieces. It wasn't typically the whole thing that was bad. And also, they did a crazy good job on making the world look fleshed out. Kind of like the technology looked pretty cool. Very nice to see.
Yeah.
Love the car. Like the car
Yeah, that
was
my favorite thing about the film. Their ability to make old things look so futuristic
and I'm
so
like,
modern.
why aren't we doing that right now? That's nice.
Yeah, man, it's a great idea. Like, as soon as I finished the film, I was like, I need to figure out how I could design my house to look like this.
Yeah, it's really nice, and and that's the beauty about it. Like, oh, okay, but I felt like with Superman, they could have done the same thing with his hideout and such, but it was just a very, it was very James Gunn, and James Gunn put his own flavor to it, and it looked like he made the characters into what he wanted versus the characters be what they're supposed to be, and play with those chess pieces. Like, no, he made Lex Luthor have a petty complex, like pretty much a brooding child. Like, no, you don't understand. I want this. But yeah, so, and with Fantastic Four, I can't really say that. But I do see the conflict and Fantastic Four and with Reed Richards. Like, I did see the conflict, the desperation. That no, like I have so much stuff in the back burner. Like, you have no idea. Like, all right, I put this. Like, I literally have a list of things to do. It's kind of like the Joker, where he's like, man, like, not enough time. There's all the money in the world and not enough time, kind of a thing. And
yeah.
So, and then
so
I
many
saw
problems that I have to solve,
Yeah,
so many things that I have to figure out. I did, one of my favorite things about the film that I did really enjoy is that I feel like it's one of the only Fantastic Four films that actually dive into more their ability to be pilots and be astronauts. Well, not necessarily astronauts, but be pilots in their spacecraft and work as a team. And Ben, like, you're not just the muscle. Before you were the muscle, you were a pilot, you're an astronaut with us, and it showed how Reed trusts them to each have their own individual roles that give them to just to navigate the spacecraft. And that was one of my favorite parts of the film, that they were able to navigate through all that. But that being said, one of another issues that I had was the Johnny and Ben Grimm, and the time of like action, the time of like life and death situations. They were literally like two brothers, just hanging out and having fun and not taking things so seriously. Yeah, they were those bros, but it was like, it was almost to the point where it's like, man, dude, are they not taking? I know it's that Marvel effect where you gotta crack a joke every couple minutes, you know, make it lighthearted. But it came to a point where I was like, man, these people really do not take that seriously. It's literally life and death serious. Sue Storm's about to give birth, and they're just having fun and not really focused too much on. Like, for example, when Johnny was bringing the Ben, I guess, what's a better name? Is it the Thing or Ben Grimm?
Yeah, it's the Thing.
I know it, but what do you know him as? I know him more as Ben Grimm in this film.
Yeah, well, we can
I
call
don't
him
think
Ben
he was
Grimm.
called the Thing, right?
No, well, sort of.
Was he called the Thing?
But they normally call him Ben, mostly.
Yeah, true, yeah. I don't know where I know they explained it in the first Fantastic Four movie, but anyways, Ben when he was flying him in to sucker punch Galactus, he
Yeah.
was telling him, "Hey, say the thing. And then meanwhile, you have Mr. Fantastic just getting his limbs stretched beyond belief to the point of potentially like being ripped in half. I was like, damn. These men do not take death seriously.
Yeah, but that, yeah, I guess that would be a fair criticism and such. But all in all, how would you rate this movie? I guess on the next one we'll talk about like Superman versus Fantastic Four. But on this one in particular, just so that way it won't take away from the review, what would you rate the movie as?
For me, this movie was a solid 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like I had a lot of issues with it. I think, yeah, to me that's a pretty fair rating for me. I did enjoy a lot of the how colorful this movie felt. It definitely had a theme, and I don't know if that's a theme that's going around, but these movies are starting to have theme. And I had to stop, but then I saw a YouTube show of this guy who mentioned the same thing. He's like, "Yo, is it interesting, or is it just me, or do all these movies that are coming out have like a theme to it?" So you had the Thunderbolts that came out, and their theme was like friendship. You're not alone. It doesn't matter what you're going through. You have people here for you. And then you have Superman, that his theme is like, be kind. There's love out there. Be kind. And then you have this movie that now the theme of this movie is family. So
yeah,
I thought that's pretty interesting. And
so
if there were all Marvel movies, then I will tell you it's definitely purposeful. But
yeah.
now that it's Marvel, DC, Marvel, I don't know if it's a coinkydink or. But
So,
I did like that.
No, I also agree for sure that yeah, that is kind of interesting. Where one was mostly mental health. I don't know what the theme would be for Fantastic Four, but I do see that there. I guess it's family.
Oh,
like
I got a mess.
family or so. But yeah, but what would you say is your final thoughts on Fantastic Four? Kind of like a general kind of feeling about it. Would you be like excited for a sequel? Are you kind of hopefully it's like a one and done? Would you prefer them to be like a crossover thing with Spider-Man or so, or a different hero? Would you want them to be their own thing, like Guardians of the Galaxy? What would you say?
Well, considering, I mean, if this movie never came out, I don't think a sequel would work because they're already well established and they already succeeded a world-ending threat. So how would you be able to make a second film with an even bigger threat? Because that's typically how these movies go. You need bigger and better every time to really sell something. Well, Spider-Man's not doing that. But so with the Fantastic Four, I would have rather, even though we've already seen it before, but I would have rather seen more an origin story with them. Maybe skip into the part where they already are heroes, but I don't know. I feel like this world of Fantastic Four, it's too small for. The world just feels too small. It feels like this world lives in just one city, and that city is just one street. And that street really is just that tower and whatever Ben Grimm walks. The most we got to explore from this world was, I think, just that street that Ben Grimm walked maybe twice. It was probably even the same street. And the tower, we didn't really get a lot of it. We saw a couple of rooms into it, but it didn't really feel like an exploration into their tower. So I wouldn't say we didn't get the most. We could have. There's so much we probably could have explored from this Fantastic Four universe, but I think the fact that we started, oh, this movie already has its most, probably one of the most baddest villains in the Marvel universe. I think I don't know. They have to team up. This movie was their opportunity to really dive into the characters as individuals and to getting the audience, getting us to really feel for the individual characters. So when they are in the movie that deals with another superhero or another 2-3 characters that are major characters, then we don't have to really worry about connecting with them because we already had this movie to connect with them. And I felt in this specific movie they failed. Where in their first Fantastic Four movie, that's where they probably did a little bit better of a job. Even though the character performances were better in this film, I'm a huge Chris Evans fan, but I do like this Johnny Storm's personality more, his way of playing Johnny Storm. I did enjoy it a lot better than Chris Evans' portrayal of it, but I do feel like we got more into, even though I'm not the biggest fan of that portrayal of it, but we did get more into that and Chris Evans' actual portrayal of Johnny Storm. And the same thing with Ben Grimm. I'm a big fan of the casting. I do like the way he looks, and he seemed fun, but I do like the original film, how they were able to dive into more of the human and how much it affects him, the fact that he became this thing and it affected his marriage, it affected things. So you feel for the character, you feel for the sadness. So when he does have his blind wife in the second film, it's like what? You did it somehow. Whereas in this one, you just don't get it. And I think they lost that opportunity. And so the only way they can do it is to have them incorporated into another film. And since I don't feel too connected with them, maybe as a background character.
Yeah, kind of like cameo.
Yeah, and
style.
like a cameo, or just to help out with the group or thing. I don't really see them being a big part of anything in terms of like character-wise with them. The storyline-wise, yeah, they definitely need a Reed Richards, the smartest man in the world. But character-wise, I don't know.
It would be interesting to see that. I will 100% agree with you, and this would be kind of like my final thoughts too, is that with Fantastic Four, I really feel like it would work best as a cameo, because there is a lot of things that they do that cameo with everybody. So, like, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 3, he brings the symbiote suit to Professor Connor or so, the lizard, pretty much. But in the comics, he actually shows it to Reed Richards to have him figure it out and see what it's all about. So I think cameos would definitely be fun. Kind of like Far From Home, how it wasn't a Doctor Strange film, but yeah, his presence was there, you know? And so I feel like that would be really cool. It's like, oh, it's not his film, but he's in it though. And that would be pretty cool, where it's like they're trying to do, like, they're very supportive in a sense.
Maybe that's probably their goal for this film. It's like, we don't really want you to get overly connected with these characters, because the only time they're probably going to come out is as either a cameo or a helper to a movie about another character who's going to serve a bigger role of the film. So unless it's all part of their plan, then it makes perfect sense. But just as an individual movie, I would have liked to have seen more from the characters to really maybe get a sequel out of them individually, or like as the Fantastic Four group. Although I don't think it's part of the plans. I don't think Fantastic Four is on their slate of upcoming movies. I think they're gonna focus on Doomsday, and then after Doomsday, it's gonna focus on, and then Secret Wars, and then they're gonna focus on maybe the mutants and I don't know, one film a year. So I don't think Fantastic Four is popping out unless just as a cameo. But you never gave your rating for the film.
My rating would be, I guess I would put it on par with Superman, but just a little bit more. So I'll give it a 7.5.
7.2, 7.5.
7.5. Yeah, because it was. I would say that half the film was pasted really well. I was really intrigued, but as soon as they went back to Earth, it was really fast paced. A lot of stuff was like, okay, so you want me? You're telling me that the whole world reunited over this thing? Like I just felt like it was kind of, like I'm hoping that the world was like that, but it's kind of not, and so I wish it did play a little bit on the roles of like, hey, like I understand that you guys are scared and you guys are looking at your self-interest, but at the end of the day, we're family, and we gotta do this as a family instead of just, Sue just going out and saying, hey, look, this is my baby, meet my baby. Although like motherhood and such was kind of like a forefront almost. I love that a lot. I love her, just the power that she brought and everything, and also like
I love
every
the quote
individual.
she had.
Yeah.
She was all like, "I will not sacrifice my baby for you guys, but I will not sacrifice you guys for my baby." And I was like, "Wow, it's like a circle."
Yeah, and I felt like that should have. I guess it did go for the rest of the world to unite us. Like, hey, don't sacrifice the world for your pride or whatever. Like, please, like try to. But I could see how people would spin into like saying, "Oh, you're being woke. It's global warming," and so it's. I'd say that they did do a good job. I don't think that they played it safe. I think that. I don't think that's nowhere near where they were going at. I think they did a good job on telling the story. I just felt like part of the story was a little bit rushed, but in this world, I guess this is how it goes. Everything was fast paced, so that makes sense because of the technology and all that.
I do think this film does open up the gate for Marvel, for the future of Marvel. I think the Spider-Man, that the crossover with the three, this film and the Deadpool versus Wolverine is like, it's really telling Marvel, you guys can literally do whatever the hell you want, make the story good, people will watch it. You don't need to be scared to have anybody, and because who would have ever imagined a film where you have Galactus, a world eater, come out in a live action film. So I think the fact, especially if this film makes money and it is extremely profitable, I think it just opens the doors for, it doesn't matter how they look, make them like the comic books and make the story good. And this movie definitely gives me hope for the future of Marvel. I will say that though. That's like, I think the biggest takeaway I can have from this film.
Yeah, I do wish that they, like, last thoughts, I wish that they did make Galactus gigantic as heck, like how he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But, and then them fight like the Silver Surfer, and then they have to deal with Galactus in some way, and also actually follow through with their plan, like, hey, we were able to put him somewhere else. So it's still looming, it's still a danger, but he's like gigantic. It's like, whoa, that's insane.
My expectation was that Galactus was actually going to start destroying the world, and they were going to say, you know what, we're not going to be able to teleport Galactus. We got to go. We got to come out with a bigger, better plan, and we got to come back. If not, we're going to die. And I thought they were going to, like, they teleport out of there, and then that's how they enter. And then they essentially do the Hulk when he was like, Thanos is coming. They would have done, Galactus, he came.
Yeah.
Now we need to uncome him. My bad.
No, it's true. Yeah, but yeah, but that's we'll kind of rehash some of this
Yeah.
on the next
More
one
thoughts.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
more thoughts, but
Keep-
pretty much the
Stay
initial
tuned.
yeah is that, but yeah, but pretty much this all we got for today.
Just a solid 2, almost 3 hours. Just
Yeah,
of solid quality and for intro for you guys. But that's the show.
heck yeah, but stay tuned. You can catch us anywhere and everywhere. We're
We're
all over the
everywhere.
place. We're
Open the
behind
book.
you right now.
Right there.
We're right there.
Hey,
Watching
you
it
getting a
with
phone
you.
call. Guess who it is?
It's
It's me telling you Das Bros is there.
Stars Bros, yeah. Yeah. We all over the place. We even in your dreams. It's like,
Good
what?
morning.
Good morning. What kind of
It's
waffles you
nighttime.
want? Yeah. But
Well,
yeah.
that's latest episode. Stay tuned. We are everywhere. We're on YouTube, we're on the TikTok, on the Instagram. This is just a startup. Again, I sound like a broken record, but it is. It's just a startup. We're figuring this all out. We're getting a good rhythm to our shows, and eventually we'll be better for you guys. And we'll eventually get a good rhythm for those who are listening and those who are will listen in the future of this first couple videos. We thank you, and you're welcome. And we'll get back. This is the start to something beautiful.
Yeah. Big time all the time.
Big time all the time. Alright, that's it. Das
Yep.
Bro signing out.
Signing out in 3, 2, 1.